All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode 10. We have made double digits. Episode 10 of Baseball and Whatever. I got Greg and Vinny with us. Baseball has given us so much news to talk about in the last, what would you say, guys? Like the last week, probably?
Yeah.
With the
48 hours.
48 hours with the sticky situation. I'm working on my puns that they have found themselves in with Spider Tack, right? Is that it?
Spider Tack.
Spider Tack and Suntan lotion and Rosin, which I've heard doesn't actually do anything. And then we will get into Ryan Spaeder, who is a baseball insider / hedge fund manager / Marine that apparently is on MLB Network. I don't know how that factors in, but he released a bunch of tweets today, kind of opening the floodgates on things he has had corroborated with him. So we'll get into that too. So we won't have a whatever topic for today because there's just too much good baseball talk to get into. And that's not even focusing on the Cubs and Sox, too, that we got to talk about as well. So we'll get into that. If this is your first time listening to us, we are Baseball and Whatever. You can find us on Twitter at Baseball and What. Email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com. Oh, damn it. Almost went a whole 2 weeks without messing that up. And then facebook.com/baseball and whatever. So without further ado, let's throw it to our comments from this week. I believe we have one from a very special listener. Greg, would you like to take this one and tell us about it?
So we had thanks, Justin. We have an email. Finally, that email is starting to come across. Friend of the pod, Vince Jankowicz writes in. And, you know, last week we kind of gave Vince a hard time because we only said he knew the only White Sox player he knew was James Shields, you know, big games James. So Vince wrote in and he told us the whole list of White Sox players he knows. So Vince Jankowicz writes, boy, it's a good thing I have big shoulders. White Sox teammates of big game James. Oh, here we go. So he lists, what do I have it here? I got Chris Sale, John Danks, Jose Abreu, and the famous Todd Frazier. Then he writes in parentheses, maybe Todd was Hawk's illegitimate child. Well,
that would explain a lot.
That could definitely be true. So that email was from he signs it Vince Jankowicz 58. So I'm guessing 58 when he was born. Yeah, but yes. I like that 58 on there. You guys.
I appreciate that he signed it like that, even though we're his two son-in-laws and son. But
Vince Jankowicz 58. There we go.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you
guys.
Vince.
You guys have any favorite 58s? Give me your favorite Cub who wore 58.
I can't tell you one.
I don't know any Cubs that wore 58.
I got one. You guys will remember this. How about pre Rookie of the Year Giovanni Soto?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
So Giovanni Soto wore 58. He switched to 18. I think
that was his downfall. Then
it was all downhill. Yeah.
Well, 2008. That's when he won Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Can you tell me, Justin or Vinny, who wore 18 for the Cubs in 2007 was also a catcher?
Wasn't Wellington Castillo? No, was it Coy Hill?
No, good catch though. But he was on the team. Coy Hill, I think he was. Yeah, 2007.
I want to say Michael Barrett was 5 or 8, right? Because
Michael Barrett was 8. He switched to 8 after Nomar. Yeah.
Oh God, that's going back a ways. Coy Hill, not Paul Bacco.
No.
Shoot, who else would have been backup? I got nothing, Greg. Who else?
Do you guys know the name Jason Kendall?
Yes. Oh God, yeah.
Remember he was a Cub. 2007, I think, his only year. This was, post Pirates and everything.
After his illustrious Pirates career, yeah.
I also have a favorite 58 on the White Sox, and it's also Giovanni Soto, 2015. So there we go. All right. So thank you, Vince, for writing in.
Yeah, no, we definitely appreciate it. Keep them coming. Whether it's YouTube comments, Twitter, email, Facebook, let us know whether we're doing good, doing bad, what you like, what you don't like. Keep it coming. So thank you, Vince. We definitely appreciate that. And without further ado, we're going to get into some White Sox and Cubs talk before we break down the craziness that is the Major League Baseball situation that's going on right now. So I guess the big thing for the White Sox would be that Nicky Bats, second base extraordinaire, Nick Madrigal, is done for the season after surgery on his hamstring. Does that sound right?
Yeah, right hamstring, I think it was. And automatically was on the 60-day. I mean, we just kind of figured, just with the duration that takes, it's going to be out of the season sort of thing. Even if whether they let, this go through with the surgery or just let it heal on its own, either way, we will see him hopefully, barring no setbacks, spring training 2022. Okay. So we got Danny Mendick, playing second base for us for now.
I heard that didn't go so well tonight.
No, Danny Mendick, it's not. He's good with the glove, but with the bat, it's not really a start. He's not really a starting second baseman. He's more of a bench piece. But I know one of you guys wrote down that Eloy is clear to resume baseball activities. I did hear that the other day, and that's some good news. That's kind of ahead of schedule a a little bit. Yeah. So. Can you imagine if we had him back in the lineup?
That would be huge.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be huge. I want to say, did they say 4 weeks of baseball activities and then they would reevaluate him?
I'm not sure. I mean, that could absolutely be right. So, but if we get him in the DH role, keep Vaughn in left. He's pretty damn good left fielder out there. And then Yermin, who's really kind of fallen off here.
I meant to add that is Yermin the dream kind of is it starting to end, Greg? Like if
I don't want to say anything, but it kind of all went downhill, after the home run and the whole Tony La Russa debacle. I mean, I don't know how big a coincidence you want to make it, but those at bats, I was saying before, the at bats looked very professional, he was doing good things up there. He was being smart at the plate, and now there is none of that. Now there is none of that.
That's not
Does he just need a break, do you think?
I don't know what he needs.
He did have that walk-off, though, after he went 0 for 25.
Yeah. Yeah. I just see the 0 for 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
that's true.
I mean, so maybe, definitely keep him on the bench for sure. But if we get Eloy back and then have Yermin off the bench, I think that could be something right there. But, I won't get my hopes up, I guess. So, we'll just let it play its course. We're still, we got the best record in baseball right now. Yeah. at least at this moment, if the Giants win today, I think they tie with us, but we gotta keep this up. So,
I gotta say, to their credit, all these major injuries and they're just, still trucking
three key position guys
anything.
So far. Yeah.
So good for them. I don't know if that's the team. I don't know if that's a little bit of the manager who,
I was going to say, is that on Tony for setting that lineup?
Keeping them together?
So Tony La Russa, Chicago White Sox. There we go. So
I saw he had the ever powerful and contact hitting Leury
Garcia.
Yes, batting third.
The longest tenured White Sox. Yeah. It's like, oh, good God.
How long has he been there? Longer than Abreu?
1 year longer than Abreu, yeah.
Wow.
So 2012 or 2013, yeah. He came over from the Rangers. So.
That he, seeing him constantly in the lineup with being one of Tony's guys, I'm assuming maybe to a certain extent. It constantly makes me think back to Dusty Baker constantly putting Neifi Perez in at short or second, and just like that's Perez. Who he was almost like a starting middle infielder for a while, and it's like, I think he's meant to be more of a utility backup guy, right? But okay, so
with the injuries, Leury's had to fill some spots. He's got a lot. Yeah. This guy was a couple of years ago. This was our leadoff man. This was our leadoff man and starting center fielder. So
it's come. Definitely
love. Then. Yeah, I know he's always a great guy to have on the bench, but he's starting a lot more than we probably had wished. Yeah, so it's not been great. But he's come up in moments, I guess. But that kind of brings up, if you look at the White Sox depth right now, it's not the greatest. It is good to have Adam Engel back, and he's kind of tearing it up. But I know they have been floating some names around for, at least recently, for second base to kind of get some depth or even a starter in for Danny Mendick. So you guys know about this guy Adam Frazier on Pittsburgh? This guy's tearing it up.
Yeah,
I heard his name floated on Twitter, and I'm just like, wow, this guy's leading like the NL and batting average and everything. Yep. He's a little bit older guys got a year left to control. So
I don't Spiegel know if, and Parkins on 670 The Score yesterday. That's who they were kind of playing up a little bit about who they should go after. So
yeah.
Other than that, I don't know much about them. I mean, I feel like the Pirates have just been kind of a black hole this season.
Yeah.
Is he related to Todd Frazier?
He's not, but we could recycle 21's not available because Zach Collins wears, but could we recycle the 21 Frazier jerseys and then give it to him? So
are they all cut up though?
Those ones.
No, those didn't get cut up. That's right. He was on the opposite side of the sale.
Right. I don't think those are cut up. They might be. Who knows? But
nothing would surprise me at this point.
That guy might cost a little more, and I mean, that's okay if you get a guy like that. But I don't know what the Pirates would want. I mean, like you said, Rick Hahn doesn't have to sell everything off ice.
Right.
We're still. We're not like desperate, like we got to fill a hole right here. I mean, as long as our pitching is still doing what they're doing, we should, kind of be okay. But the depth is always a question. So other guy, go ahead, Justin.
That was my next question is there any other areas of weakness or any other guys you think the Sox should try and make a run at?
I thought maybe another bullpen arm might not be a bad idea. It doesn't have to be anyone too crazy or anything. Just a little bit of extra help over there. Craig Kimbrell's kind of figured some stuff out this year.
Mojo working.
He looks like Craig Kimbrell of old. So him and Leon Hendricks, a couple of knuckleheads, saving games for the White Sox. I don't know how that would be, but no, he's definitely been pretty hot this year. So another second base guy that came up, I heard today. I don't know if you guys remember Eduardo Escobar. He was a longtime Twin, and now he's on the Diamondbacks. Yeah. But this guy actually came up, with the White Sox. I remember this guy in 2011, 2012, and he's with Arizona right now, and Arizona's not doing anything.
Oh yeah, they're done.
Yeah, I think he's a free agent after next year. And believe it or not, I was looking up his stats before we started, and if he plays second base, he plays second and third, kind of those positions. If the White Sox did trade for him, he would be the home run leader on the White Sox. If that trade happened today, because he's got about 15 right now, and I think if Brady or Grandel's got the at 11 or 12 or whatever. So I was like, oh, that'd be interesting. Kind of like a depth second baseman be your home run leader. But,
right.
But yeah, no, he was. I think 2012 was the last year he was on the White Sox, and he was still super young then.
Okay.
So, one more name for the 2012 White Sox for you is Kosuke Fukudome. So,
really?
I'm going to throw his. Remember when Fukudome was on the White Sox?
Wow.
So I forgot about that.
I had to.
Gosh, the Sox were just recycling through the Cubs garbage for quite some time, right?
That
Kosuke,
was
Giovanni and
Kosuke Giovanni was Beef. Like a little bit later, yeah. And that 22. There were some interesting names on that. I'm sure you guys.
David Ardsma.
Wait, David. They even had Mike Olt too, didn't they?
That's right.
Mike Olt, yeah. That was 20.
They really went through the garbage.
That might have been the same year as Giovanni Soto, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
If you remember 2012, we had guys like Alex Rios. Do you guys remember Brent Lillibridge?
Yep. Oh,
yeah, Adam Dunn, and of course, the Greek god of walks, Kevin Youkilis.
So, yep.
See, now all
from the past.
I'm just picturing Jerry Reinsdorf at like 1 a.m. with a flashlight going through like a dumpster outside Wrigley and just pulling out like Mike Olt, being like, I need something to eat. Take me with you.
Roaming around.
I'll play third for next to nothing, please.
Yeah.
Oh man, Michael.
Where he found Tony literally in a dumpster. So
drunk tank dumpster.
Tank. Yep, exactly. So
all right. Well, I mean, the White Sox are still, credit to them. They're still going strong. It's been exciting to see them persevere, and like you said, still number one in the league. You can't ask for more besides getting away from this injury bug that's kind of started to bite a little bit, but overall not too shabby. So we'll have to keep that going, keep on seeing how they progress from this point out. But
absolutely,
we will switch gears to the Cubs. And I will admit, last weekend I was so excited. They swept the Cards. I went on the outline. I typed, oh my gosh, they swept the Cardinals. And then tonight, the next series, they get swept by the Mets. So,
and that lead has disappeared. It's back to 3 games now.
Yeah. So yeah, if we're going to start with the Cardinal series, it was exciting. I thought they looked great. Even though I had to sit and listen to Alex Rodriguez muddle through 9 innings. That man does not belong anywhere near a broadcast booth. I'm sorry. He is awful. Like you just listen, not that I'm a big Matt Vasgersian fan, but Matt Vasgersian will set him up for stuff to like kind of expound upon, and it's just like a one-word response. There's nothing.
Completely misses it.
Yeah.
Justin, really quick, I was rewatching some old baseball highlights, and this one's not really old, but remember this is from 2 years ago, the David Bodie walk-off grand slam against the Nationals. And I remember A-Rod chimed in when, Bodie already scored, and, they were crowding him at the plate and everything. And A-Rod I forgot what he said exactly, but he made one, he spoke one, error or something. Yeah. And then he just does like the made up shit or
he's just
whatever.
Out his ass.
Like, what is he talking about? So
like,
I don't know.
I feel like the 3 of us do more planning for this goofy podcast so that we have the right facts than he does. I feel like he just shows up and is like, all right, I'm going to talk about baseball. And
exactly.
Didn't he compare Anthony Rizzo to like a Navy SEAL or something during the game?
I remember
they were talking about that on the score, and they played it. He's a leader on this team, like a Navy SEAL, and then like compared it, and it's like, baseball player. I don't think so. Yeah.
He did something during the game this past weekend or Monday, I believe it was, or Sunday night. I can't remember which one it was now. But anyway, they were talking about, I don't know if it was the college baseball World Series or something. And then, Vasgersian kind of threw it to Alex Rodriguez to say something. Yeah. And he just goes, NCAA. And that was it. I'm like, yes, maybe,
and baseball.
I don't even follow college baseball, but like, I know as Al Leiter's kid is on one of the teams that was in the college baseball World Series. And, there's some stuff about him, but NCAA. And then
maybe we shouldn't be looking at it as a cringeworthy, but more humorous.
Oh,
right?
definitely
and
humorous.
Just take the that and just roll with it. Like maybe play bingo during it.
Is he in on the joke? Maybe? Do you think? I don't know if he's got enough there to be in on the joke, but maybe not.
It's a good question. Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of disappointed if he was,
Maybe Matt Vasgersian's on the joke.
Maybe.
He might be.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah,
fail.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're probably right about that, Vinny. That's
like,
a good point.
ESPN, I feel like, has made some decent hires and changes recently, but they still keep running him out for Sunday Night Baseball.
Do you miss John Miller and Joe Morgan?
Oh, I would give anything.
I didn't think I'd ever miss him, but I kind of do.
I would take
Joe Morgan used to drive me nuts.
Yeah, I was going to say, you really didn't like Joe Morgan.
No. He was like Harold Reynolds level for me. That's how bad it got towards the end. And
I would take Joe Morgan's exhumed corpse right now over A-Rod. So, I mean,
we got dark.
Yeah,
I know, and it was me that went dark this week. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I loved John Miller. This is the baseball nerd in me. I will still on YouTube sometimes go and find like highlight clips of old Sunday Night Baseball and Wednesday Night Baseball with Joe Morgan and John Miller, and just listen. And they just had such, like, Joe Morgan at the time drove me nuts because, growing up playing second base, I felt like he had this holier than thou, I'm the best second baseman ever. No one can touch him. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't see him play, and I know he was very good with the Big Red Machine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, after seeing some of the other crews they've set out on Sunday Night Baseball, I would kill for John Miller and Joe Morgan. Yeah. So
unfortunately, I don't think Joe Morgan could announce or provide color today's
not for
game,
today's game. No.
But John Miller definitely. I mean, like you said, Justin, you listen back to him, and he really,
is he still doing the Giants games? Does he still do that or no?
He was. I don't know if he still is.
Okay.
Or did he quit? Did he retire a year ago? I can't remember.
I honestly don't know.
He did go back to the Giants. You're right about that. So
yeah. I mean, just it was nice getting to watch them on TV. And I got to watch Monday night's game because that wasn't blacked out, but then Tuesday nights was, so I can't figure that out. But Yeah.
How did that work out?
I have no idea. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want the, TV overlords to hunt me down and say, you didn't pay for marquee. You shouldn't be watching this on ESPN. So couple other things real quick before we get to the Major League Baseball situation. Arrieta, he did not pitch well the other night. And I'm hoping at the trade deadline, if they add some other fifth starter, can we just say, hey, there's the door,
I don't think so.
I don't think keep him. They're going to keep him, and I wish they wouldn't. So here's his stat line according to Baseball Reference. He's 5-7, which I know wins don't mean that much for pitchers. He's got a 5.14 ERA.
Ooh,
not that great. He's pitched 44 innings in 13 starts, which that doesn't come out to much more than maybe 5 innings or so. Maybe.
Yeah.
He's given up 65 hits in 63rd innings, 40 runs, 36 earned runs, 12 home runs, 27 walks, 51 strikeouts. His ERA plus is a 75. His WHIP is a 1.46, which isn't great. His home runs per 9 innings is 9.3, which seems crazy. No, I'm sorry. Wait, that's wrong. Hits per 9 innings is 9.
I was like, home run. He's giving.
Yeah, he's got to go. Wow. No, I'm sorry. Hits per 9 innings is 9.3, and home runs per 9 innings is 1.7. So
okay,
you can see the game starting to pass him by. I really hope he doesn't try and stick on again and sign on somewhere next season, because you hate to see guys that had a decent career and then they stay 1 year too long. And I feel like he's at that drop off point where it's going to start to go south really quickly for him.
I'm fine if he stays on one more year, if he signs with like the Brewers or the Cardinals.
Or the Cardinals.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Not the Cubs.
Yeah.
How old is Arrieta now?
He is 35. 35.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're older than me. Oh man. All right. He looks much older than me.
He does.
Yeah.
Much older. So do we, I guess.
That's true. That's true. So I just wanted to bring that up. I'm kind of hoping that ends. I don't think it will, but I'm hoping they don't extend him. I don't see why they would, but I'm hoping they don't get too crazy. And then was it Vinny? Did you bring up the cup snakes thing?
Yeah. Did you guys see that?
I saw that.
Oh my God. ESPN was obsessed with that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I heard, I saw that, and I heard it on the 670 The Score.
Yeah.
Some of them were like, it doesn't matter. Some of them were all for it. Some weren't against it. I don't know. It sounds like the Cubs kind of just let it happen.
They let it happen.
They were policing that before.
I didn't even realize they were.
I didn't realize it was a thing at all. Just this past weekend. But I guess this has been something that's been going on. But they've been policing it and stopping it. And now they're talking about having like a separate section, a snake pit or something like that, where people can do that. Like how we go from having to stay 6 feet apart to
touching
now
everyone's used cups,
beer cups, and being all proud about it.
I remember. God, I wasn't at a game obviously last season. The season was that 2019 was the last time I was at a game. I remember that being a thing in the bleachers, but obviously never to that level, because I'm assuming the Cubs ushers kind of put a stop to it before it got too big. I mean, me personally, I think it's gross. I don't want to touch people's cups after they've been drinking beer all game. I don't, call me a wimp. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't get it.
Stay out of the if you don't want to, you just stay out of the bleachers.
The bleachers, yeah. Like and having to hold that for half the game, like I'm going there to sit and relax. I don't want to have to do work,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know what's worse, cup snakes or the wave, because I guess that's catching on in a guaranteed rate field.
Rate,
yeah. And that's turning into a thing.
The wave is kind of, the wave was always kind of like a thing over there, but now it's,
Dodger Stadium too, right?
I guess I'd rather do the wave, I guess.
I guess.
I don't have
you don't have to worry about someone.
I don't even really participate, because I'm just there.
I just
it goes by as I just keep sitting down or whatever. You
only need to stand up if there's a pitch or something going on.
And And the guaranteed rate. I mean, last time I was there and the wave was happening, it was a bad one. Like,
was it?
no one was.
You couldn't even tell. You just thought people were standing up for the 7th inning stretch.
Some like, if we're gonna do this, we shouldn't actually. So let's
the best
stop.
ones are when like the wave happens, it dies down, and then like the little kids are there trying to get the wave. And you're just looking, you're like, it's never gonna happen.
Not happening,
just
kid.
sit down.
Right.
Sit your ass down and watch the game. So I don't know. The fact I did like the way they did like the opening day 2.0. I thought that was really cool.
That was neat.
It was exciting. It was just
cool.
From the way the last year and a half been is it was exciting to see the stadium full. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes going forward. I thought it was pretty funny going back to the wave though. I saw Herb Lawrence, who is the producer of Lawrence Holmes Show on 670. He had a shirt that said "Wave Sucks" instead of White Sox today. It had the White Sox font. I was watching them on Twitch today instead of listening to the radio, and it was pretty funny.
Oh, that's great.
All right, well, let's get into what's going around the MLB.
Here we go.
Let's start with I believe this was a Vinny find. I'm assuming Pete Alonso and the conspiracy theory on the owners of baseball and going through the top 10 free agents of 2019 through 2021. So, Vinny, you want to try and explain a little bit of that and then jump into it?
Yeah, that was actually from one of our fans that sent in that article to us.
Yes,
that was from our friend of the pod,
guy Vince.
Yes, right? I think it was NBC Sports had quoted Pete Alonso, and I guess there's a conspiracy theory going around baseball where the hitters, or I guess the MLB is allowing, and the owners are allowing the spider Tack and all the foreign substances to be used this year because more prominent hitters are hitting free agency than pitchers. Whereas in 2019, when they had the juice balls during the regular season, a lot more pitchers were more prominent pitchers were going to be free agents. And so I decided to test that and look at what the offseason, what the upcoming free agents are and what the free agents who were free agents in the 1920 offseason. So the 1920 offseason had 5 pitchers and 5 hitters in the top 10. And those were, this is off of MLB.com, what they rank. So I took that as kind of the gold standard. So 1 through 10, I'm just going to start at the top and go down. Garrett Cole, Tony Rendon, Steve Strasburg, Zachary Wheeler, Joshua Donaldson, Madison Bumgarner. I'm going to butcher this one. Hyunjin Ryu.
Hyunjin Ryu, yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Yasmani Grandal, Nicholas Castellanos, and Michael Moustakas. So it was a mix, but I would say the top three of the 5 top 5 were pitchers. So there's some kind of weight to that.
Sure.
And then this upcoming off season, we had 4 pitchers and 5 hitters. Or no, that doesn't make sense. 6. 6. Gosh, my math's wrong. 6 hitters and 4 pitchers. And the list is from top to bottom: Corey Seager, Trevor Bauer, Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, Frederick Freeman, Christopher Bryant, Mike Conforto, Clayton Kershaw, Noah Syndergaard, and Dylan Bundy. Although I think Dylan Bundy's kind of garbage. I was kind of surprised he was on that.
Dylan Bundy's up there.
Yeah. And it was MLBTradeRumors.com. The MLB didn't have a list. And it was a power rankings I thought was done. It was a while ago because they referenced Trevor Bauer's balls being pulled from the game. So that was like at the beginning of the season. Right. So I'm sure that list has changed. And Rizzo and Baez are both on the list too. So,
jeez,
I don't know. It's if anything, I think this is just telling that there's a lot of distrust from the players to the owners, and I honestly think we're heading for a lockout.
Oh, it's coming. It's
coming.
So I believe the current CBA is set to expire on December 1st of this year.
Okay. So right.
It's gonna. I
haven't heard anything on labor talks. Have you?
No, I haven't. Can we agree? Tony Clark, from what I've heard, even from the players, he is an awful union president. I've heard.
Yeah.
For the MLBPA, I guess a lot of players do not like him at all.
No.
So yeah, I mean, Vinny, I'm glad you bring that up. That's a good point to kind of transition into this. So. MLB announced this week that they are now giving 10-game suspensions for any pitchers using foreign substances. They're paid suspensions.
Yeah.
So
paid vacation.
Yeah. Okay. That's the first part. Then you got, Tyler Glasnow from the Rays. He's got a partially torn UCL. I was reading an article for him. He was kind of blaming the crackdown on substances for some of his injury. Then we got Ryan Spaeder's tweets, which I can read in a little bit. And just kind of the end all, like me, is this kind of like a plan to get the players kind of having infighting so that when they go to organize for the CBA, there's kind of a problem then, in the players union itself? I don't know.
Do they want that? I feel like that's isn't going to help them.
No, it's not going to help at all.
They're going to have more biblical losses next year because they're going to be locked out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want infighting, right? I mean,
I wouldn't think so, but I mean, where do you guys want to start with this? Like, let's start with the suspension stuff and the way that they're implementing it just in the middle of the season as opposed to waiting. Like, what is your take on that, guys? Like what is a former pitcher, Greg? I feel like you're the one that can speak to this the most. What's your take on the suspensions and what's going on here with that?
Yeah,
hold on 1 second. I do want to just say,
go ahead,
Justin, with the suspensions that they're not allowed to replace the player. So that's kind of the big kicker of it.
That is one not benefit, but something that will kind of stick in their craw a little bit if they
So they have to remain active.
I'm glad you brought that up, Vinny. I forgot about that.
They receive, and to tell you, I mean, if you want to spark labor talks, imagine if that was a 10-game suspension without pay.
Yeah.
Then we'll start. Then we'll see
get really
players
dicey.
Union. Yeah. Kind of fired up again or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. The only thing that shocks me about this, obviously, major rule changes. I guess it's not even a rule change because it's always been there.
They're just invoking it more.
It's just, now even all of a sudden, here we go. And, right in the middle of the season, I mean, I guess, some people are saying, that's super weird. And I guess it is, but I mean, they're not doing it right away. I mean, they're giving, a couple of weeks notice or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't, it's just, I don't, like I said before, guys, I didn't have a strong opinion on this before. It's just more goofiness for me, just like, it feels like just the wacky merry-go-round that Rob Manfred runs, the MLB and everything. So it's just like, to be honest, guys, I'm just like, this is just more, foolery, boobery in Major League Baseball.
Rob Manfred is a complete boob. Like
Carlos Rodon called him out a little bit. I don't know if you guys heard that with his interview with Chuck Garfien.
Yeah.
And he was he claims he doesn't use it. I mean, I don't know. Many players do. I mean, I'm not talking about Spider Tack. I'm talking about the Rosin sunscreen or whatever. I don't know what that does. I never use, I mean, granted, I never threw 90 miles an hour. I threw in the 80s if I was lucky. And, rosin was never on the ball for me. There was always a rosin bag there. It was probably like low grade shit rosin, but it always kind of worked against, what I was trying to do with the ball because I was always working on the seams. Mm-hmm. So I needed, sometimes I needed, sometimes if I had that grip, the pitches came out a little too straight, opposite of what I wanted to do. But like I said, not a major league pitcher. I don't know how these guys are trained. I can't even tell you I don't even know what a Major League Baseball feels like.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because they were talking about that on the Score today that, you look at football, there's a regulation football. You look at hockey, there's a regulation puck. You look at basketball, there's a regulation basketball. Yeah. Major League Baseball is the only, major sport where they keep tweaking things year to year. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but, is it that the ball's too dead as opposed to where before it was jumping out of the park?
Right, so they changed it. And now they deadened it a little bit.
And it's like, so how, when you do that, that factors in too. I mean, it's
totally
Rob Manfred. He makes Gary Bettman, who is the commissioner of the NHL, for those that don't know, and Gary Bettman is a complete tool. He makes Gary Bettman look like a genius, and Rob Manfred is he is a yes man for the owners, and I get that that's the purpose of owning a team is to try and make money. We've talked about that in the past with Ricketts and everything, but like you also should be trying to put a good product together that is engaging and exciting to watch.
That's really our end goal right here.
Yeah.
Because baseball, I mean, let's face it, baseball's like kind of dying, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, we're struggling to get viewership, and we got so much, so many good personalities out there that no one has a clue, who they are. I mean, you could put Tatis walking down the street and was like,
you never know.
He's like, that guy's a Major League Baseball player. He's like, he's one of the best major. Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't recognize him.
Exactly. So, I don't know where this is going, guys. I mean, I feel like, pitchers have been, whether it's, right or wrong, pitchers have been training, this way to start the year. They've been using their sticky stuff, whatever you want to call it. So
it's been passed down through the years.
Yeah,
right?
Let's see.
Right.
Let's see where it goes. Now let's see who, remember, it's up to the umpires to enforce this too. They're the ones that are going to have to, call this during the game. So we'll see.
I honestly think of it. I know Trevor Bauer, of course, threw a hissy fit about it. Like, oh, now you're giving the umpires. They've always had the power to do that, and he's complaining about that. I think unless it's blatantly obvious, I don't think they're going to do something, like, unless they see the pitcher touching his arm or touching inside his glove constantly. I honestly don't know, like, how as an ump you'd be like, well, you're using it. It's like, where is it then? I think they're going to. I mean, maybe Angel Hernandez would be that kind of a bag.
Of course, he's the name that comes to mind, right?
Yeah, right.
He'll throw you off for something totally random.
Yeah.
recently defeated in the Supreme Court, Angel Hernandez as well, which is a whole other thing.
Yep.
Go ahead, Vinny. Go ahead. What would you like to say?
No, I was just going to say, I saw Rodon's comment, but that's kind of a bad take. I think, oh, well, he didn't do anything to the Astros. Well, yeah, that wasn't right. And pitchers shouldn't be cheating. That's not right. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
I didn't get the whole
just because
Astro
they didn't
argument.
do it to that. They shouldn't. Everybody outside of the Astros organization and fan base wanted the baseball to come down on the Astros, and they didn't. Yeah, that doesn't mean that just because they got a pass that the pitcher should get a pass. Yeah,
but now they're enforcing a rule that's technically always been there.
Yeah.
So I mean, just go with that, I guess. But I guess it's more upsetting that they haven't enforced it now. All of a sudden, there's so many different stinking angles with with this. Well, it's like.
I feel like for the longest time it's Major League Baseball burying their head in the sand like they did in the 90s with steroids. You knew it was going on, but you looked the other way, and you could see. I mean, the spin rates. You have a camera that can measure this now.
Yes,
and you didn't do anything, and now that it's starting to hurt the offensive production, which is what you want, which also goes against the whole keeping the game shorter too.
Play.
They can't even keep their arguments straight.
I mean, everything is just intertwined.
And again, they bury their head in the sand, and then finally there's a big enough uproar that they try and do something, and the thing they do messes everything up, right? So like I'm looking at the Tyler Glasnow interview from June 15th. This is from ABC News. He said he had only used suntan lotion for his whole career until about 2 starts ago, when he stopped because he knew that he had to learn how to pitch without it, which seems like a odd choice of words there, but he said, let's see, in my mind, it sounds dumb. That sounds like an excuse a player would make. Sure, he could use his sticky stuff. I threw to the Nationals. I did well. I woke up the next day and I was sore in places I didn't even know I had muscles in because I was holding my ball differently. That's what she said. And then he said, do this in the offseason. Give us a chance to adjust. I just threw 80 innings. Then you tell me I can't use anything in the middle of the year. I have to change everything. I've been using this entire season. I truly am telling you, I believe this is why I am hurt. So, I don't know.
I don't believe that.
There's 2 things I hear in that. And that's as, both kind of coming from, playing baseball and everything. Mm-hmm. Yes, there is a change. There is a change in your training right now. Sure. There is a change in the way you do things. Like I said, I don't know how the ball is thrown. I don't know what kind of, how much, velocity they're putting into these pitches and lacking control because of the substance. On, the second part of this, starting pitchers are whiny bitches. So I mean, it's just I can it account to injury? I don't know how I make that connection. He could be right, he could be wrong. I don't know, but it seems a little bit of a stretch for me personally. So to kind of correlate that.
I don't get the people that are correlating the foreign substances to control. It's not about control, it's about spin rate.
Well, they're using it for spin rate,
not control. They're using it for spin rate.
Well, I mean, I think with the spin rate comes an aspect of control where you can focus, because you have the grip. Now your mind, now your mechanics are more geared towards getting that maximum velocity and spin rate, while knowing the control will be there. Because originally, I mean, the rosin and sunblock also helps with the grip too. I mean, that's all, that's kind of, the basis of it right there. Yeah. And I think, when you're going, when your mechanics are now tailored to get that maximum, whatever that you're seeing with all this high tech stuff, and now that's taken away. I think there's like a compensation that a pitcher will have to take now to regain control. I mean, it could be a mental, it could be, all in his head too and everything, but I think there's something there to that. Just, coming from, just from my experience pitching in games and stuff. But like I said, I don't know. Some of it seems a little bit, some of the claims I guess they're making can seem a little bit, of a reach for me.
Well, so. And that's what I don't. Okay, so here's the other aspect of his statement that I don't understand, and maybe you guys can clarify or tell me what you guys think. Is he goes on to say we had a union meeting with 36 reps there. It was, and he said it was asked, does anyone have a problem with sunscreen and rosin? Not a single person said they had a problem with it. Hitters in the meeting said go ahead and use it, but everything I've heard is no one is complaining about the sunscreen and rosin. It's all this other stuff to get a better grip,
like
to produce the manufactured stuff to get a higher spin rate on your pitches.
Right.
Not to mention, everything I've read about you combining rosin and sunscreen, from what I've read, would do the exact opposite in terms of giving you a good control and a good grip to increase your spin rate. So that makes me wonder, what is he using? Again, I'll be honest, I played second base my whole life growing up. So I never picked up a rosin bag once in my entire life. I think I maybe pitched like 2/3 of an inning because it was a blowout and they wanted to see what I could do. And then I was promptly put back to second base. So I have no idea. I couldn't tell you how to throw anything because that's not what I grew up playing. But I would feel like that combination of sunscreen being so slippery and then the rosin, which I mean, I guess gives you a little bit firmer of a grasp. But even then, I don't see that being the issue. And especially if players are saying, yeah, you can use that, that's fine. That's not what everyone's having the issue with. Like you said, Greg, it's this manufactured stuff that's kind of messing everything up, right?
Yeah, causing that spin, because apparently the spider tack stuff, I almost like, because this is what professional weightlifters use to, get grips on the bars and everything. I saw it was kind of funny. I looked it up on Amazon and it was like, will be in stock soon. I'm like,
I did too.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone bought it already and everything. It's like, I almost want to get some just to try it out and just try the rosin. So, cause I never used, we had rosin, but sunscreen was but we never did that, playing high school ball or JUCO or anything. So
I was going to say, Greg,
I want to know what that, just kind of like a little experiment,
that sounds like a future episode for Consider Them Slimed. You could do an experiment with throwing with rosin and suntan and spider tack.
Kind of come back and see how it changes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the rosin and the sunscreen make like a paste almost?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I would think so. Make like a well, if you're putting it in the leather and the glove and everything, and then it would kind of have that gooey sort of feel to it or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't my thing. I liked me personally. I liked a clean ball, because in high school when I was playing, we had nice high seams on the baseball.
Yeah, I was gonna say the seams are bigger on high school.
Yeah,
like Justin, you were saying that the baseball's not the same.
Right, correct.
They change it every year, and it's not the same through every level. So that's probably where maybe they should start.
I can credit to a lot of my a lot of decent pitches I executed to nice high seam baseball. So, and it's definitely, you give me something like that, a variation on it. And I could, you give me two baseballs and I'll throw you the same pitch. I'll show you how different they are. So, it's so much, but it's just like, can we just, so much to the point, like, can we just kind of almost leave something alone and then just kind of go with it? Can we just have this one thing and like, okay, this is it, let's have the uniform for Earth and let's go. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, it's going to be interesting to track now and see, because after this Friday or something, or when the suspension will take place. Let's just kind of see what kind of numbers change or something like that. Yeah. Let's see what this does. It'll be interesting.
Well, and I think what's interesting is, so you have this kind of breaking earlier in the week, and then Ryan Spaeder, who is an MLB Network analyst, author, host, statistician, and writer. I had to look up his Twitter account to make sure I got his
the credentials
correct. Yeah. He wrote a book. What's it called here? It is called Incredible Baseball Stats, written by... Hold on. This is great. Great video. The coolest, strangest stats and facts in baseball history. Incredible baseball stats by Kevin Reevey and Ryan Spaeder. And then the foreword was by Wade Boggs and Lance McCullers. So, I mean, at least he's got baseball people working with him. So, But anyway, he released a tweet storm, if you will, today. And I'm going to read you off my phone because I took screenshots and immediately texted them to these two guys because I was like giddy like a little kid that here's more drama in MLB.
If you follow us on Twitter, I retweeted that.
Did you? All right, good. Yes. Thank you. Yes. See, dynamite drop in, Vinny.
Yeah.
That broadcast school
is really paying off. All right. So he started by saying, now, for context, he kind of went off on a tangent and was saying that there is so much other cheating going on. And his point of view was he was so upset that the game he loves is being tarnished. He needed to come forward and share what he knows. He said
so his conscience is kicking in or something.
His conscience is kicking in, yes. So
wonder if mine will ever kick in one day. I'll tell you guys everything.
Probably not.
Never will, because I don't have one.
Oh, anyway. Sure you do. So he said everything he posted here can be corroborated or has been corroborated by other sources from other teams and organizations. So take that for what you will. If you believe it, great. If you don't, perfectly understandable. But here we go. So he said, first off, the Yankees have had cameras in left, center, and right, all pointing at the pitcher's glove rather than the catcher to pick up the grip of the pitcher. This can be evident by looking at Aaron Judge's home road stats in the 2017-2018 season. On the home side, Aaron Judge batted .312, had a .440 on-base percentage and a .725 slugging. And then his road splits were a .256 batting average, a .404 on-base percentage, and a .531 slugging percentage.
Okay. So the walk stayed constant. It looks
walk stayed constant, yeah. He then went on to say the Royals were the first team with a full analytics and video department closed by their dugout, doing so in the 2015, their World Championship year. He did not explain how it was used. He goes on to say the Dodgers had an employee who was caught setting up cameras at Minute Maid Park where the Astros play. He was specifically wearing an MLB polo shirt when he should have been wearing his Dodgers polo during the 2017 World Series. So that makes you wonder, like, is there like some like spy level shit they're trying to pull off here? Like Ethan Hunt's in IMF.
Both cheating, so the Astros did win fairly.
Yes, yeah,
right. Because that was
because two wrongs make a right.
I got from that one.
Yeah, right.
They're both cheating, so the Astros are just the better cheater.
He goes on to say, and I don't understand this one because he doesn't back it up. He says this one hurts to say my favorite player ever, Chase Utley, was the biggest cheater of all time.
If his favorite player is Chase Utley, should we believe this guy? I mean, no one likes Chase Utley.
See, now I'm just picturing It's Always Sunny and
Philly fans do.
Yeah, wanting to have a catch with Chase Utley. He goes, as insane as it is to sound.
Oh, this one's my favorite.
This is good. I've heard this from multiple players. Adrian Beltre had a buddy with binoculars who would sit in dead center, who would wave a wife beater t-shirt, and he puts in parentheses the undershirt. Now I'm just picturing him waving some giant guy that clearly is a domestic abuser. If he was getting something off speed in 2017, this is evident by his home and away stats in 2017. Beltre in 2017 home season batted .362, had a .440 on base and a .586 slugging percentage. While away, he had a .271 batting average, a .333 on base, and a .489 slugging percentage.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something to that one?
I think that's awesome. I think, that's just Adrian Beltre with a great friend to do that for you.
Right?
I mean, that's just having a buddy helping you out, you know?
If either of you guys make it to the pros and anything, you let me know. I'll wait.
Yeah, we want you waving your beater out there, Justin.
I don't own one, but I will buy one just for you guys.
We will get you one. Yeah, we will teach you how to decode the signs and everything. And
you'll just have to hold up the cup snake, though.
Yes. Oh man. I might bounce out on that one then.
I hope that one's kind of true.
So,
I hope he doesn't get any.
The last tweet he has here, there's 3 in this last one. It says everything Kratzy, who I looked up. Kratzy is in reference to Eric Kratz, who was a backup catcher for the Rockies, I believe.
Yeah, remember Eric Kratz.
Everything he said about the Rockies is true. So it sounds like they were doing some type of sign stealing or something. I don't know if it was to the extent of the Astros, but I looked up the article that Eric Kratz it was interviewed, and it was something with sign stealing. So,
well, what year were they doing it?
They did not. I don't know that. They haven't
been good in a while.
No, but didn't they make the playoffs in 2018?
Yeah, they did. They played.
Did they really?
I want to say, was it a wild card? Were they a wild card team?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds.
That was the year the Cubs had that play in.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
They had the play
yes,
game 164
or whatever. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
So he says that's all true. And then he says the Astro sign stealing method all came from Carlos Beltran, who was also with New York and Texas. So that all gets linked back to him again. And then the last thing, which I found very interesting, and maybe one of you guys can explain how this works, because I'll be honest, I don't know. It says the Diamondbacks in the past have used humidor balls when pitching at home and non-humidor balls when batting at home. He says, I don't have a time frame on this, but I'm very confident it took place. So I don't know if either one of you guys can explain the difference between a humidor and non-humidor, but
I would
right?
I was going to say, if it's humidor and they're pitching with it, I would assume it's going to give it some kind of grip. It's going to make it humid, so it's going to give it some more tack, whereas the non-humidor balls will be slicker. The thing I could kind of use my brain for.
Makes sense. Or I don't know if that deadens it or something like that too. I have no idea.
That makes sense.
But
that would make sense.
What happened to the good old frozen ball? You know, you just keep it with the dry ice.
Is that what they used to do?
Why do the home teams
it wasn't one of the major league movies?
Why are the home teams even involved with the ball?
Yeah, Vinny,
why isn't just major league? You have an umpire who has the balls. They bring them in.
Right. That's a real issue right there. You know?
And really what it comes down to, I know Mr. Spaeder had said my game is now tarnished. Baseball's always been tarnished. I'm sorry.
It's been tarnished since the beginning.
I was thinking today, what's the dirtier game, politics or baseball? There's never been a golden age if you actually dig into both of them.
I mean, hell, you couldn't even have some of the best players in the country play in the major leagues until Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. I mean, Vinny, that's a great point. That's a very good point. So,
and that was a real issue. I mean, racial, inequality. I mean, if you want to talk about, injustices in baseball,
that was a big
there
one.
You go.
That's a big one.
That's the one. That's the only one that should goddamn matter.
So I have a feeling that is not the end of that story. I think that's going to blow up in the coming week.
Yeah, we'll see where this one goes.
I don't know. I think baseball will want to sweep that under the rug.
They might. What I thought was funny is Ryan Spaeder got on the Score here in Chicago and was interviewed by Matt Spiegel and what's his name?
Danny Parkins.
Danny Parkins. Thank you. And I have never heard an interview where the guest was just so downtrodden. It looked like I said earlier, it said like somebody was like had his family hostage. He's just like, I can't do this anymore. And, we need the sanctity of the game and everything and going on and on and on. And I mean, if he truly feels that way, that's great. I mean, I don't know. I love baseball and I love other things, but short of my family, I don't think I could get that worked up about something, but he was truly worked up about it. they asked him, are you afraid of being sued? And he's like, well, I don't know. And it's like, well, you maybe should have thought about that one before you went on this. But and then the other kicker was, and I didn't get a chance to catch the end of their show, but he said that he has video footage of more science dealing with technology. And he has it, and he doesn't know if he should release it or not because he's afraid. And so I'm like, is this like Zapruder level film?
He's got the Zapruder.
Maybe he should release it with Josh Donaldson's evidence that he's got on all these pictures.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for that.
We're still waiting for that one.
If it's anything like the movie JFK, he won't make it through the next 24 hours.
In my head, I'm like,
before an unfortunate accident occurs.
I just see Rob Manfred showing up like in his alley when he's taking out the trash with like a little league bat and being like, You've talked a little too much. We're gonna have to break your kneecaps now.
Hey, Vinny, you were looking at videos of Hitman 3. Did that happen to be a mission?
No, it wasn't.
That's
MLB
Hitman
Network
4 writer.
Yeah,
right?
Hitman 4.
That'll be the fourth one.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. He told Danny Parkins on the air that to DM him on Twitter and he would send him some of the footage. And he did. I think him and Spiegel both did. And as of like 4 o'clock when I was stopped listening, he had not replied to the DM sending him the footage. So, well, okay. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I kind of feel like I need to listen to their radio show tomorrow to find out the
trying to figure out what this is all about, kind of. So
I don't know. Before we wrap up, I know it's getting late. Greg, do you want to talk about the All-Star leaders?
Yeah, I wanted to bring them up quick because we do have some Cubs and White Sox, on these top three. So if you look at kind of infield positions, they I think phase one ends June 24th, so they take the top three, go on to the next two, and then I think the nine outfielders, from each league will go on to determine the starter. I think that's how it goes. So if you look at so we'll just kind of go through some of the positions here. First base, Jose Abreu's number 2 on the list at 9%, only trailing Vladito Jr., who's at 51% to start first base. We kind of know that, but for the Cubs, obviously on the NL, Anthony Rizzo was 3rd on the All-Star balloting for first base at 12%. Max Muncy leading the charge there. So both guys on the team. Second base, even though he's hurt now, but Nick Madrigal was in 4th place, on the second base ballot. So
nice.
How about that? And then Nico Horner was 4th place.
Really?
For the NL. Believe it or not, at 10%. Ozzie Albies leading it there, which is kind of surprising, not having a great year. Adam Frazier, 2 on the list, who we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to third base. Yohan Moncada, number 2 on the third baseman All-Star balloting, following Rafael Devers of Boston. And for the NL, number 1, Chris Bryant for third base.
There we go.
He's played more outfield this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, but getting to actually play his original position for the All-Star game might be a treat.
Right. He's on he's number 1 for third base. He's on the ballot as a third baseman, and he's leading by a sizable margin. Nolan Arenado trailing far behind him. So he probably have a starter right there. Yeah, I know your guy, right? Let's move to shortstop. Third place for the AL is Tim Anderson at 11% right there. For the NL, Javier Baez, is in second place, only behind Fernando Tatis, who's just destroying.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to catch him.
Yeah, no. But he should. He should hopefully make the team, at least if nothing else.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice. And then the outfield, we really don't. Not a lot of great outfielders. And I think whatchamacallit, the highest vote getter we have in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, is actually Jock Peterson.
Wow.
Really?
And I think he could sneak into the second phase. He's got to catch Ketel Marte of Arizona. I think he's like 10th and he's got to be 9th. Okay. So and then catcher we have, and we'll start with the NL. We have Wilson Contreras, of course. He's 3rd in catching for the balloting right now. 2nd for the AL is Yasmani Grandal, who's having like a good bad
season. Yeah.
I mean, the numbers just look like, oh my God. But he's getting on base. He's hitting the most. So you don't know what. I mean, he's just kind of like ruining the stats for everyone.
Yeah.
So he's just pissing off all the sabermetricians and everything. So. And then lastly, the last thing you can vote for is DH, and the top three are Shohei Ohtani, JD Martinez, Yordan Alvarez, and then number 4 just off that list is our boy Yermin. That might be more of a popularity thing.
Yeah, I think so.
And I've been voting for him because that's what I do.
Of course you have.
So it's kind of nice to see both both teams well represented on some of the top 3
for sure.
Almost every position here, minus the outfield. So and minus second base, I guess. But our 2 injured guys are right behind it there. So get those all-star votes and get your guys in right there.
Awesome. Sweet. And I guess the final thing, we haven't done this in a while. Just figured we'd update where the standings are, because to be honest, some of these teams I did not realize they were leading earlier in the season and now they've tanked. In the AL East, we got Tampa in first. Boston's a game and a half right behind them. I was kind of surprised Toronto is only at 500. I thought they were having a better season this year, but I guess not quite yet. But the very exciting team. Just Vlad, yeah.
Vlad's having an amazing, amazing year.
And I think I told you guys in the text chain, one of the teachers I work with is a former minor league pitcher, and he had mentioned that he got to pitch against Vlad, and
that is so cool.
That guy, he's like, I thought I had it, and then he lined to left. And so I changed the way I was going to approach the next at bat, and then he lined to right. I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. But yeah, that's exciting to be able to tell people about that. So
now he's doing it to big leaguers.
Exactly.
Destroying them.
In the Central for the AL, we got the White Sox in first. Cleveland is 4.5 games back. And then Kansas City, who was having an early decent season, they are back to under 500, which is always.
And Minnesota is still at the bottom there.
Yes,
Detroit?
They are 16 and a half games back with a .388 winning percentage.
Who knew? Wow.
For the AL West, we got Oakland, which, wow, they're having a great season. They are 43 and 27.
There's another cheap team that seems to win there.
Good for
Billy
them.
Bean,
I love Oakland. I feel like 1 out of every 3 years they'll be in the playoffs and they kind of turn heads and then they go back to sucking for a while. So good on them. I know they've talked about moving and looking for relocation, so we'll see what happens there. But Houston's 2.5 behind them. Seattle is a game under 500. I wish the Mariners were good. I want to see them be good again.
Is Scott Servais still their manager?
He is still their manager.
Former Cubs catcher.
Former Cub, yeah. Going to the NL East, we have the Mets are in first. Philly is 5.5 games back. That's a shame considering they have Bryce Harper. That was sarcasm, by the way.
Hey, his dog is named Wrigley.
Yes.
Give him a break.
He's good friends with Chris Bryant, right?
Yeah. He was going to come here because of that.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's about all that can be said there. In the NL Central, the Cubs are still in first. They are now tied with Milwaukee, and stop the presses. Cincinnati has moved into third. They are 2 games back behind the Brewers.
I saw that. Yeah. So here we go. Cincinnati kind of getting into the mix here.
And then St. Louis is
are we declaring the Cardinals dead at this point? Where are they at?
They're 3 games out.
Okay, so definitely not.
So they are still alive and kicking.
I liked how people were trying to call them dead after this. When the Cubs swept, I'm like, it is so early.
Okay, so yeah.
If there's one thing I've learned,
it sure did.
If there's one thing about the Cardinals, they are never dead until they're eliminated.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
am always afraid they're still going to come back. Now Pittsburgh, on the other hand, they have been dead and they're decaying on the side of the road right now.
Yeah.
And then lastly, in the NL West, we got the Giants in first with 42 and 25 record. The Dodgers are a game behind them, and then 5.5 back is San Diego. So I'm hoping San Diego keeps it going. I got my Padres hat right here.
Nice.
Trying to rep the team, from Chicago, but good for them.
How about the Giants? Everyone was talking about Dodgers, Padres, top 2, and here comes San Francisco. Just not thought about having like a. Not like a losing season, maybe, but nothing, kind of like a middle bound team or whatever. Yeah. So look at them kind of charge. Gabe Kapler leading the charge over there.
I don't mind. I like the LA hockey team, the California hockey teams. I don't mind the LA Rams, and I don't like the Rams, but I like the LA Chargers. But I hate the LA Dodgers with a passion. I don't know why. I just don't like that organization at all. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So that wraps
they're
up.
the Yankees of the West. That's why.
Yeah.
They are.
That's exactly right.
So that wraps up the standings. That wraps up the show. Vinny, any parting words? Anything else you'd like to share before we close the books on this episode 10?
I'm okay.
You're good? All right.
Yep.
Greg, you got anything? I'm sure you got Consider Them Slimed. You got another vlog coming up. Anything you want to promote there?
We have some in the work. We have part 2 of the video game backlog, Nintendo Switch edition. That might be. I'm gonna minor spoiler here. We might go more than 5 than a 5. So
no.
I don't know. I think just for show content. We'll see, and just to see, some painful responses here. But
I might
see.
have to take off the mini pod label on the Consider Them Slime. Maybe I'll just put vlog in front of it because that's
a vlog, right?
Yeah,
we'll see with that. So, and then let's just keep watching baseball, gentlemen. See what goes on with the league. This goofy league that we chose to podcast about.
Right?
So,
yes. We didn't actually choose. Justin forced us to do it. So we're here against our will.
Yeah.
So there's he has electric, he has switches that he can turn. It's like Thunderball. He can flip a switch and we can get electrocuted if we don't produce. So
hold on. Greg got his Bond reference in for this week. So hey, I'm learning now. Like 2 months ago, I would not have known what Thunderball was, Greg. So I'm getting better. So
good God. No, I get it. So my least favorite Connery movie. Okay, I'm done.
Awesome. All right. Well, I got nothing. If you are looking for more of our stuff, check out our YouTube channel, search baseball and whatever. You can listen to all of our podcasts at anchor.fm/baseball and whatever. We got Greg's vlog series, both on YouTube and audio versions, which is Consider Them Slimed, where he takes aim at someone and kind of gives it to him. And like he said, he'll be running down the Switch Nintendo games that he is. Are these games that have you opened? Have they been opened?
Oh, we'll save that for the pod. We can't have.
Vinny, I believe that's what we call a no.
Yeah, that's at least answered a little bit better than Garrett Cole's interview.
Yeah.
So we can't have. We can't have one of those, pod or mini pods without something in mint condition.
That's true. That's true. So on that note, like I said, if you want to email the show, contact us, tell us what you'd like us to talk about. If you got any top 5 lists you'd like us to rank, other topics you'd like us to rank, other guests we should approach. We don't really have any other guests in the pipeline at the moment. So we'll have to get back out there and try and flag some people down.
Right, we've exercised and exhausted all our contacts in our.
We had a good run.
Episode.
Yeah, we had a good run. Yeah,
we had a good run there for like a couple weeks, and then
this is easy finding people to come on.
Yeah.
Right? This is no problem at all. So, let us know. Again, email us if you're watching YouTube. The contact information is below. If you're listening to the audio, email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com. Tweet us at baseballandwhat. And facebook.com/baseballandwhatever is where you can find us. We want to hear from you. We want to grow this thing so we can all someday in the distant future quit our jobs and make this a professional thing, right? I think that's the goal, right, gentlemen?
I don't know.
I think so.
That's the goal.
As much as we all love our jobs,
it'd be hard to quit. But, we'll do it for you if we
have to. So on that note, we will see you guys sometime next week. Keep listening, keep watching baseball, like Greg said, and we will see where this crazy baseball season takes us. So on that note, take care, and we will talk to you guys later. See you, everybody.
All right, good night.
See ya.